Grand Rising, friends and family. This is the Peak Wellness Hour, and today feels different because Queen G is not with me. She's had to work alone for me or for us so many times, but this time it's my time. So I want to take this opportunity to welcome each one of you. Forgive me if I'm not engaging. I haven't done this by myself in a very, very long time. So, okay, take a minute, please. Invite a friend. We are talking about the process of becoming. It's Women's Month. Women's Month. This is Women's Month. And the topic on board today is the process of becoming. Becoming means that there's a process ongoing. Becoming means that you are not where you are supposed to be yet, or you are not at the tip top level yet. Becoming means that every day we are growing, right? That's what becoming means. It means that we are evolving into the woman or into the individual God has created us to be. I'm going to focus on the woman because this is the Women's Month. And I want us to focus on the women, not that it doesn't apply to men or even children. Okay, so I'd like to invite you in. Come on into the virtual house with me. Come on into the virtual house with me. Invite a friend, bring your family, bring a cup of coffee. I just finished mine. Bring a cup of tea, a cup of hot cocoa, or whatever it is. Go sit on your balcony and let's talk. Let's talk. How have you been? I think today is the first day of spring as well. Today happens to be the first day of spring. So, welcome to spring. I hope that you are prepared for what this season is for. Literally springing forth, everything showing out. So, I pray that every seed you have planted, everything you have worked for, you begin to see fruits in this season. Okay, thank you so much. So, today my topic is the process of becoming. Okay, when we talk about becoming, we are talking about growth over time. Okay, no woman arrives fully formed. No woman arrives fully formed. It's interesting that when you read the Bible about marriage, the Bible says, He who finds a wife, he who finds a wife. So you already a wife because before you actually become a wife. It's very interesting. It's a topic I like to talk about on my platform one of these days. But life shapes us through experiences, through our choices, our challenges, and even the seasons we do not choose. God or life takes all these situations and circumstances and uses them to build us into becoming who He has called us to be or who we were created to be. I don't know how many of you have read the book Becoming by Michelle Obama. But in this book, she reflects on this journey and writes, she says, I am becoming the woman I have always wanted to be. This is her perspective. She's becoming the woman I have always, or she's always wanted to be. So I want to throw a question at you, my friends, my audience. Are you becoming the woman you visualize yourself to be? Are you in the motion of getting there? And if you are not, what is holding you back? Is it because you haven't envisioned yourself in a certain place? Or it's just because you feel stuck and you don't know how to get unstuck? Okay. I would like to hear from you. Okay. So the question is, what is powerful about what Michelle said is that she wrote after serving as the First Lady of the United States. Flirters. She had served. I mean, where else can you go from there? The First Lady of the United States, literally, and that is a very powerful position. But she said she's still becoming. So, in her heart, in her mind, and within her, she knows she has not arrived. Many of us, we get into a certain position. We get to the top level of our organization. We become the first female CEO of a large corporation. And we think we have arrived. But the question is, what if there is more? What if there is more? Because in my opinion, there is always more. Okay, her being the first lady of the United States, her life, she's done. She's accomplished everything. To me, to some others, but even at that level of influence, she describes herself as becoming. This teaches me that lifelong growth is a lifelong thing. There's no end. For as long as we have life and we have breath in us, by the grace of God, as long as we have health, as long as we can put one foot in front of the other, whatever that foot may be, we continue to grow every day. We continue to learn. I learned of a man who got a doctorate degree when he was in his 90s. Wow, it's encouraged me because I'm thinking of getting my PhD. And sometimes when I look at my age, I'm like, eh. But you know what? It's not over. There's always room to grow. Okay. Many of us have spent years surviving life. Okay. But identity is not a fixed destination. Can I say it again? Identity is not a fixed destination. Who you see yourself to be right now is for where you are right now. Because life and growth and identity is progressive. We continue to progress, we continue to evolve. If you had told me 12, 15 years ago that I will be a pastor, that I will be sitting on social media and speaking, that I will own a home care agency, that I will be a counselor, have a master's degree, I will laugh. I will laugh because some things I did not plan, but I'm a Christian, as you know, by the maneuverings of the hand of God, and considering that I'm totally surrendered to Him, He is able to maneuver and work with me, and I allow Him to shape my life in the best way possible that He knows. But I do know that I have not arrived. There is a whole lot ahead of me. It's not over. So the question is, in this season, in this moment, what do you know for certain about you? I know I have not arrived. I know God is not done with me. I know there's a whole lot of room for growth. I know there's much to be done, much to be accomplished. And it's important that I set my body, my soul, my spirit in a position, in position. So positioning is key. Set myself in motion for positioning to become and to walk this journey. That's why life is a journey. I heard that so many times growing up. Life is a journey. Okay, so where are you in your journey? Where are you at? I like to hear, where are you at in this journey? And where do you go from here? And what are the steps you're taking to ensure that you are prepared and properly positioned? All right. So many of us are simply surviving. We've spent years surviving. We have built careers. We have raised families. We have endured losses. Oh my God. We faced disappointed. We have married. We have divorced. We have lost. We've become widowed. We have navigated responsibilities. Many women see themselves as mothers. But what happens to the mother when the chaos of everyday routines, getting the children ready, getting them for school, taking them to school, driving them, doing all of that? What happens when they go? What happens when you become an empty nester? What happens? Some people have to grieve the loss of what they perceived motherhood to be. That doesn't mean that you're no more a mother, but the things that filled your life in that season are gone. So, what's next? What is there to do after the children are gone? They're beginning to live their lives. In all those years of maybe raising children and ensure that the family is functioning and effective, when all those are gone, the beautiful chaos of raising children, what is next? What do you do? Life seems empty. That's why at that stage the family is called, or the mother, or the home becomes, the parents become empty nesters. What is next? What did those years teach you? What substance did you develop that can carry you to the next? What is your vision for yourself? Many of us as women, okay, what happens is that we feel lost. We let ourselves go. We don't know what to do. But there is more to you. You will always be a mother, doesn't mean you will always have children to raise. You're not a grandma yet. And grandma means I can take it and give it away. I can take the child and give it away. So what's next? When we celebrate Women's Month, a lot of the time we focus on the women who made history, the mothers, the fathers, the grandfathers, and the grandmothers on whose shoulders we stand. Right. But today, the question is, what are you building, and who is going to stand on your shoulder? And if they stand on your shoulder, will they wobble and fall, or you have something solid for them to stand on? Okay. We've always, in the season of raising families, navigating responsibilities, we often became the women we needed to be in order to make it through. Some women endured relationships for the sake of the children. So now that the children are gone, what are you doing? Sometimes that meant becoming strong. Sometimes it meant becoming independent. Sometimes it meant becoming guarded or cautious. Sometimes it meant becoming very protective. Sometimes it meant a lot, making whatever it takes. It meant that becoming the financial manager. It meant a lot. We did and we do what we have to do, what we had to do to go through that season. The deeper question is, who are we choosing to become now? Survival in those seasons is just one chapter of your life. Growth always and also involves transformation from within you. And I'm going to come from a biblical perspective because you all know the Apostle Paul captured this idea in a very simple but powerful way when he wrote this in the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 2. He says, do not conform to the patterns of this world. Do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Listen, it's not an evil thing. There's nothing wrong about finding your identity in your marriage, finding your identity in the lives of your children, finding your identity in your parents, in your heritage. They are all good, but there comes to a time when you need to know your identity after all of that. Okay, that I am statement is very powerful. I am so and so. It's a foundation you stand on. So growth always involves transformation, and it also involves mindset, renewing your mind. Can you hear me? Renewing your mind. Now it's time. The children are gone. They are all in college. Some of them are married. They are out of college. They have their own little apartment, have their own little new career. They're excited about the new wings life is giving them. Where are your wings too? Okay, so what Paul was saying in the book of Romans chapter 12, I'm not gonna preach, right? But I'm gonna bring it up because it's so important. Even in the Bible, spiritually, God knows that we need to do some work internally. Okay, transformations begin within the individual, with the way we think, the way we see ourselves, and the way we interpret our experiences. Okay, last night I was talking to a pastor friend of mine, and he brought up the issue of sight. What do we see ourselves to be? Where do we see ourselves? Where do we see ourselves going? It's so important that you see it, even if nobody sees it. This month is our month of faith, and faith is believing and trusting completely in what you have seen spiritually, what you have seen within, that vision you see of yourself that is not yet a reality. And sometimes, let me say this, in the process of becoming, sometimes we share our dreams too quickly, and people discourage us because they do not see it. They do not see it. They can't imagine how that's going to happen. How do you go to school at the age of 56? Your life is over. Somebody said your life is over. You're done. Go to school at the age of 56 for what? But somewhere inside of me, I knew. The question is, what do you know? There are some things only you know, only you see, that no human being can see. So when you share it, when you tell a blind man, I see a bright light, he has to believe you. He has to believe you. But what if he doesn't? What if he doesn't? You tell a blind man that you see, for all he knows, that you don't even see yourself. But how can he know? So you don't share visions with people who are blind. Let me say it again, who are blind to what God has shown you about yourself. You don't need a whole lot of people to believe in you. You have to learn to believe in what you've seen about yourself, and that is faith. So, in order for you to continue to become, hey, Queen Gloria, welcome and God bless you. In order for you to continue on the journey of becoming, you have to have an idea where you are going to, so your steps can be ordered accordingly. You know that you work so hard. A lot of adults, lots of women, adults, 40s, 50s, 60s are going back. I go back to live the dream they left behind when they started raising families. But they have a general idea where they want to go. So if they want to become a nurse, they start taking the whatever courses they need to take. Maybe they start with becoming a home health aide and then a CNA, and then maybe they enroll and become an LPN and then RN, one step at a time. But there is order because there is a vision. There is a vision. So you order your steps, but if you do not know. So the question is this: who are you choosing to becoming based on your own revelation of yourself? Life is not over. Life is not one day. The higher you climb, the further you go, the further you see. The higher you climb, the further you see. So it's so important that where you are, sometimes you see beyond a certain, up to a certain limit. But even in that, what are you doing? In this day and age, nobody is arriving. Nobody has arrived. We have to continue every single day to work towards. I remember Apostle Paul saying, I don't consider myself as having arrived, but I forget the past and press on towards the goal that has been placed ahead of me. This is in the book of Philippians. The question is, what goal are you pushing forward to? Queen Gloria just wrote a book. I don't know how old she is. She just wrote a book, a daily prayer journal. What are your experiences? What have you been through? What have you endured? What have you learned in your journey as a wife, as a mother, as a divorcee, as a single adult? What have you learned? And what is the purpose for that? As long as you have life, life is not over. You are making history, no matter how little it may seem. You can look at your life, look at yourself, say that, oh, I was an addict all my life. I don't know where to pick up from. What? Tap into yourself and begin to question who you were created to be. What am I passionate about? What are my pet peeves? What do I love doing? What brings me fulfillment? Let us not start with chasing the money. Money will come when you are fulfilling purpose. The money will come. Your gifts, the Bible says, will make room for you. But you have to know what your gift is and you have to work it. So, you want to become a doctor, you're a doctor. What's next? I've seen people leave one top level. Yesterday, I was listening to an interview of a woman who is autistic, and she became a neurosurgeon. Okay, and she left or she stopped practicing and came into acting. People will wonder, a neurosurgeon, all the money you can make with all that knowledge, you leave to become an actor. But the question is this: it tells you how versatile we are. Sometimes we need to go through a certain process in order to become. So the question is this: who are you choosing to become? Another Bible scripture I love so much. It's in 2 Corinthians 3:18. It says we are being transformed, even in the sight of God, even in the realms of the spirit, in the sight of God. We are not there yet. Every day we are changing. Every day we are growing. Every day we are learning. Every day, my Lord and my God, we are getting better. Every day, my dear sisters. So where have you been? What did you learn? That's key. Where have you been? What did you learn? Where have you been? What did you learn? And how is it going to serve you and serve your community, the community you have been called to? I'm tempted to say amen, though I'm not preaching. Sometimes I don't know the difference, right? So, being transformed suggests a continuous process, not a single moment of change. I will always say this: if the woman you were yesterday is the same woman you are today, then you need to begin to question some things about your life, because you can't be the same person every day. For the past 1 year, you are the same person. We keep adding up numbers, celebrating birthdays. No growth, no maturity, no development. We are stuck. But we can get unstuck. We can get unstuck. Okay? In everyday terms, this means that none of us are finished. None of us are finished products. Wow. You know, it takes 9 months for the whole human being to be formed. 9 months. 9. For a person to be birthed into the world as a human being. But see, look at the process of growth. 10 years. It takes 25 years, 25 to 26 years for the human brain to be fully developed. And yet it took 9 months. Under 1 year, just think about it. Think about it. When a child is born, the foods they ate, they couldn't chew, but they were full. They are full human beings as babies. It takes 25 to 26 years for the brain to become fully developed, for a human being to be called actually matured adult, to be called an adult, really biologically, up to 26, between 25 and 26 years. So yes, we are becoming, between the age of 0 to 26, the processes we go through, the learning to eat and to chew and to bite and to talk and to crawl and then begin to try to get up and to fall and to walk and then start talking amazingly, start talking, starting expressing themselves. The personality of this individual begins to show up. The education, learning, grade 1, first grade 2, whatever grade, college, all this time, their brain is not considered fully developed. 26 years. Yet they are fully developed human being 26 years early. That should speak volumes about life, that you have not arrived. For many women, the process of becoming included, they include very important steps. Yes. First, we must acknowledge you see, who life required us to be. Some of us had babies when we were teenagers. How that must have impacted us. Some privileged to have support, some no support. There may have been seasons where you had to become the strong one for everyone else, the provider, the problem solver, the one who held everything together, the one who let things go, the peacemaker, the foolish one. You became who life required you to be. Right? Some of us, that's the line we're walking right now. You became divorced at a stage. You became broke. You lost your home. The things you had to do to keep food on the table. for you and the children you're with. The things we had to do just because life, the hand we had been dealt with, required it. We didn't know any other way in or out. This is what I have and this is what I know. You can give what you don't have. So for many of us, we need to come to a place and realize and acknowledge that I have become who life has required me to be. The hand that was dealt me required that I walked this path. The second is to recognize what parts of ourselves are still healing, and talking about acknowledging who life required us to be. Sometimes health situations, sometimes money situations, sometimes relationship situations, sometimes job. It's all kinds of situations. The second thing we need to acknowledge and recognize is what parts of ourselves are still healing. Whoa. What part of ourselves are still healing? We need to recognize those parts. Growth requires us to confront experiences that shaped our identities negatively or positively. Okay, whether those were disappointments, whether those were losses, whether those were gains, whether those were career growth, whatever moments, or when we just for some reason, based on the first point, self-doubt, feeling insecurity. We need to recognize which parts of us need healing, continue to heal. Yes, we need to recognize that. Okay. Third, we need to give permission to ourselves to evolve, to evolve, to becoming. Okay. And sometimes that's the hardest part of becoming. It's allowing ourselves to change. Change. Many people don't like change. We may feel the pressure and the comfort of remaining who we have always been because it's familiar. But what that does to us is that we're going nowhere. When we choose to remain and to not give ourselves the permission to evolve, we go nowhere. We must get out of that comfort zone. Okay, growth becoming requires space. It requires curiosity. But let me say this, it requires courage and it requires boldness to take the step. It is a movement. It is a movement. You know what? I don't know if I know I've said this over and over again. I have always been big, been a big, beautiful, curvy woman. Okay. It took me a long time to accept that. And one of the things that I learned is that any moving is better than being stuck. So, what kind of little movements, literally and figuratively, do you need to move? What things must you shift out of place to make room for the woman you are becoming? What relationships must go? Who must get out of your life? Sometimes it takes courage, it takes boldness to say no, but it is a very necessary word. No, it's a very necessary word for becoming. Because some weights, some things that weigh you down must fall off for you to begin to emerge. I tell you, once you get to that point, when you realize that enough is enough, I was made for more. I am more. I can be more. I can be more. I can do more. I am more. But what is holding me back? These are some of the questions curiosity will ask. What is holding me back? Who is holding me back? What is so heavy? It's becoming difficult for me to move. Yesterday I said to myself, I'm feeling less dense and I can move easily. A burden has been lifted off me. So what is that sitting on you? And this is where we need to look at the parts that need healing, that continue to heal, that we haven't touched but must be dealt with. You are not required to remain the person you had to be in your hardest time. Queen G always says something. He says, I'm a strong woman. Strong in the sense that you are fighting the opportunity to become soft. When all the resources have been placed around you, you're still fighting because you've constantly been in the fight mode, fighting in your children's schools, fighting at the job, fighting in your relationships. You're constantly fighting. You feel there is no one around to help you. You gotta be strong. You have been the woman whom the life required you to be, but now life is giving you another opportunity. Would you take it? Would you take it? One of the big, I can't believe I'm going to say this on social media. One of the biggest challenges of my journey in the United States was the many years that I was not documented. When we are not documented, it means you don't have a social security, you don't have a valid ID, and so guess what? You can't rent a house. You that means that you can't rent a house, you can't go to school, you can't get a job. God of mercy, you depend on people. You are stuck, you're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. You feel stuck and you wonder. You look at your life and you say, why and to what end am I here for? And then suddenly God opens the door and you are so stuck in not being able to work, in being able to live independently. You become so stuck in that situation. You don't know how to move forward. The opportunity is there. The door is open wide to you. What are you going to use it for? Are you going to continue to cry and complain about how hard life has been and be pitiful and do nothing? Look for become, what's the word? Live a life of mediocrity. Find the easiest and continue to stay there. Live, pay bills. Pay bills. When God gave me the opportunity, I took it and I ran with it. And yes, it has come late in my life, but the process has taught me resilience, the ability to fight. If you come to me and you're stuck, I will have something to tell you, not because I've read it out of books, because I have lived it. So the question is this: who are you choosing to become? I'm sorry to say, and I minimize nobody's pain and nobody's experiences. God help me. Some of us, we were married and our spouses were everything. They did everything. We don't know how to do anything. Now they're gone. They may be dead. You may be divorced. Something, and you are stuck. You are living in the pain of that separation and the divorce and the disappointment. It's become everyday story. You are not moving forward. It's excuse upon excuses. And I'm not minimizing your pain because I get it. But must you live there? Must you build a permanent home there? Some of us, we live on the system. We do the barest minimum for the system to take care of us when your life could be so much more. Why do we stay in a life of mediocrity? What are we teaching the women coming after us? What are we teaching the women coming after us? Today, God forbid, it's your time and you pass on. When you pass on, what legacy are you leaving? You can become, you have the ability. Why sit still and do nothing? Why not have a plan? Why not have a vision? You are not required to remain the person you had to be in your hardest season. You are required to take the lessons you learn and move on with a run with the vision that is ahead of you, pursuing what is before you. We can grow beyond survival. We can learn to rediscover parts of ourselves that we pushed aside because of what we were required to be earlier on. We can become someone new, a renewed part of us, while still honoring the journey that brought us here. And that is the heart of becoming. Why stay stuck? The best message to send to them that left you, the best message to send to them that looked down upon you, the best message to send to them that said you will never make it, the best message to send to them who says you will never, that thing, you can't run a business. Who do you think you are? Because you're CNA, you think you can have a home care agency. Because I didn't go to college, I can't become this. The best message is to be better every day. It's to be better. It's to be better. It's to be better. So the question is this: are you becoming? Are you becoming everything you were called to be? Society often expects us to remain the same. We become comfortable with the version you see, and the thing is, sometimes we stay the same to appease relationships. Because people have become comfortable with the Edith they knew 10 years ago, the first version of the Edith they met. So they begin to become uncomfortable. They begin to question, who do you think you are when you start to live a purposeful life? Growth requires that you change. You change. You know who is not coming with you. You know who or what you need to drop. You know to change your shoes from the high heels to the sneakers so you can better run. Who knows? Maybe you need some glasses on to see well. Maybe you need surgery to see better, laser surgery, whatever it is. You may outgrow environments, discover new passions, redefine your priorities. You may realize that the life you once imagined for yourself has shifted. And it's not failure, it's growth. It's growth. You can grow beyond all of that. So let me ask you a question. In what ways are you allowing yourself to grow or change right now? In what ways are you allowing yourself to grow or change right now? Whilst you think of that question, whilst you answer, whether you're answering whilst I'm live, I have a few more minutes, I'm going to leave soon. Whilst you're, whether you respond right here in this moment or watching the replay and responding, I want us to think about the future. We're not thinking about just the past. We are not just the survival. We are not thinking about just the survival we had to do, but we are thinking of possibility. Becoming, the moment we make that mind shift into thinking of becoming, into seeing beyond the natural, seeing the Edith I could be, seeing the Queen G you could be, you know, you begin to see possibility. For some reason, I heard a woman say, we have been empowered with every resource we need first inside of us. We have it already. You begin to tap into you and you begin to see the possibility. And that's when things begin to align in your favor. Sometimes it may take a minute. It may take a minute because sometimes we have to push through. We have to survive some of these things to ensure that we are willing to go. We are willing to go all the way. We are not quitting when it becomes difficult. Sometimes becoming means overcoming obstacles and challenges every day. The power, the ability, or the fight of overcoming is what develops the muscle. When you're lifting weights, when you begin to lift weight, we start with the one that gives us the least resistance. But even that, it has to have a certain level of resistance that you struggle a little bit. But when you continue to push through and you continue to lift, it becomes easier. You go from the 2.5 to the 5.0. And you know what? You develop muscle. You become stronger. So the woman you are becoming is shaped by the choices you make today. The boundaries, number one, you set, the dreams you pursue, the healing you allow, the courage you practice, the resistance you're able to overcome. So, doing a short reflection exercise, take a moment and complete the sentence. The woman I am becoming is, the woman I am becoming is, dot, 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 dot. You don't have to write it publicly, write it to yourself. What woman are you becoming? I know there's someone watching me and she's saying, oh, she doesn't understand. Try me. Try me. I'm homeless. I have no way of feeding my child. My health is failing. Yeah, I get it. But those are all some of the muscles that you need to develop. So those are the things that you may need to push through. What are you able to fight? Life is a fight of faith every day. I'm not saying becoming is easy, it's not. If you're looking for the easy way out of life, maybe you need to stay stuck. If it's easy for you. Okay, the woman I am becoming, maybe she's confident. Yeah, maybe she's peaceful. Maybe she's finding courage. Maybe she's fully healed and wholesome. Maybe she's healing, acknowledging that she needs healing in some areas and working through it. Maybe she's purposeful. Maybe she's joyful. Maybe she feels at liberty. Maybe she has boldness. Maybe she has boldness. So I say to you this to you in closing. as we celebrate Women's History Month, number one, we definitely honor the women who shaped history. I honor my mother. Hey, I honor my mother and all the women who shaped her to become the mother she became to me. And I honor her by becoming more. Where she couldn't go, hopefully I can go. So my children will continue from that level, like a baton. They run to a certain place. This one takes it, pa, 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 pa. The one take it and go. History is not finished. Okay? Whilst we honor the woman who shaped history, history is not finished. History continues with you and I today. Because today will become 40 years ago in a few years to come. Every woman in this virtual room is still writing her story. Don't put your pen down. Don't put your tablet down. Whatever you're using to write, do not put it down. Every experience you have lived, every experience you have lived through has contributed to the person you are becoming. So don't live in regret. You have been shaped by the journey that you have walked. Take it, use it. Let it be a foundation on which you stand. Perhaps the most important thing to remember is this: you do not have to have everything figured out. Did you hear me? You don't have to have everything figured out. If you can see enough in front of you to put one leg in front of each other, that's all you can see, then let's do it one step at a time. Growth is definitely a process, transformation, a journey. And becoming is something we continue to do every day throughout our lives. Michelle said, I am becoming the woman I've always wanted to be. I want you to ask yourself this morning or this afternoon the same question: who am I becoming? And am I giving myself permission to become her and all of her? Listen, ladies, you are a history maker. You are a pace setter. You are a barrier breaker. You are a wall. You are a wall pulling down woman. You are a limitation breaker. You are standing on the shoulders of men and women. Let me say women because we're talking about women. You're standing on the shoulders of women. Women, some of the women are dead and gone. Some of the women are on their knees every single day praying for you. Some of the women are watching you from afar. Some of the women are cheering you on without your knowledge and saying, if Edith made it, I believe I can make it. We are standing on women. The Bible says there is a cloud of witnesses all over us. People are cheering you on. Please tune in and listen to the cheers. Go G, go Edith, go Gloria, go Josephine, go whatever, go. Tune in and hear. Go, go, go. You can make it. Like the runner who fell down during a race. He fell down. Okay, he couldn't get up. Somebody came and held him up, and together he ran slowly. Everybody in the crowd were cheering for him. The race was almost done, but as long as part of the race, hadn't crossed that line, the race was still on, and people cheered him on. It doesn't matter whether you finish last, whether you finish 10 years after the last, people are still cheering you on. Get up. Your adversity has a purpose, has a reason. Arise, because someone is looking up to you, someone is counting on you. And you, even if you don't think anybody is, you count on yourself and get up and go. Finish this race. Finish it. Keep becoming until the day you lay your head down in death. God bless you so much. God empower you. I pray that you find the courage that is already in you and tap into you. I pray that the negative parts of life that made you become who you were required to be do not stop you, because you are not required to stay there. Arise, my fellow women. Let's make history together. Thank you so much for spending this Saturday morning with me. This is Peak Wellness Hour. We inspire you, we uplift you, we cheer you on. And above all, we give you every resource we know and we have, so that you will be well, wholesomely well in every area of your life, so you can become everything that you were created to be. My name is Edith Ahine Amatefio, one of the co-founders of the Peak Wellness Hour. Listen, our YouTube page is up. We'd like you to subscribe. We'd like you to follow us on YouTube. These videos go away on Facebook, but YouTube stays forever. Our website is up to Peak Wellness Hour, peakwellnesshour.com. Visit our website. We are trying to ensure that all these videos are on the website. Queen G, I miss you. I love you. I can't wait to have you here next week. Your insight makes a whole lot of difference. So thank you so much for working in the background, even though you're not here with me. I appreciate you. I love you, ladies. I love you, love you, love you. Keep fighting, keep pushing. Your children deserve that. Okay? You deserve that. Take care and God bless. Bye.